What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, and in this video, I want to talk about an article that I read on it's online on USA Today Sports, and the title is called "LeBron James's Injury Could Lead to a Quote Nightmare Scenario for NBA Playoffs," and it talks about in an NBA Insider's piece for ESPN, writers Kevin Arnovitz, Chris Herring, Brian Windhorst, LeBron lover, Andre Snellings, and Kevin Pelton discussed the Lakers' playoff chances with superstar LeBron James missing extended time with the groin injury he suffered on Christmas Day against the Warriors. The consensus among the writers is that the Lakers will still probably make the playoffs, assuming that James doesn't suffer a setback during rehab and miss additional time beyond what is reasonably foreseen. With approximately 40 games remaining, the general opinion from the ESPN scribes is that James will probably have to play somewhere around 30 to 35 of the 40 remaining games for the Lakers to feel safe about their playoff chances. In addition to the playoff race, other topics discussed include the identity of the Lakers' second-best player, and it goes on top of other things. Then it says if the Lakers do miss the playoffs, it will be a nightmare scenario for the NBA and its broken playoff format. The Lakers could potentially miss the postseason with 45 wins, while the 6th, 7th, and 8th seeds in the Eastern Conference could all have losing records. It talks about how this might need to be changed. All right, now this is my personal feelings about the last part. Okay, look. Nobody told LeBron James to run his ass from the Eastern Conference to the Western Conference, okay? So basically what that last comment states is that LeBron James had a built-in advantage being in the Eastern Conference because the Eastern Conference was weak. And we've always been saying that it was weak for years. And that's why LeBron James had such an advantage. And he was able to go to the finals for that tremendous stretch he had from 2011 to 2018. All right? Oh, and if you're new to my channel, I do that. I'm a very passionate person, but I have a reserved exterior. But every now and then, my frustrations come out and I scream. Kind of think of me as like a, what's that character, man, on Very Odd Parents, man, the teacher, but every now and then he just breaks down and goes, Very Odd Parents! Like, that's me. That's me. Like, my frustrations come out a little bit every now and then when I'm talking about sports and whatnot. But, very good things. But, look, nobody told LeBron James to run his ass to the West, all right? The Western Conference is more competitive. So if they don't make the playoffs for whatever reason, if Carcino was right and this guy does have a hernia, all right, that's on the Lakers, all right? I know there's a lot of Laker fans out there, but that just happens. Injuries happen, okay? You can't sit there and change shit just because you don't like the outcome every time. I know a lot of people in the media love LeBron James, all right? I know he's good for ratings, but sometimes shit happens. Michael Jordan got knocked out the playoffs in the 90s. You know, I know that the NBA hierarchy didn't like that Orlando knocked Jordan out the playoffs in the semis. I damn sure didn't like it as a Bulls fan, but it happens. There ain't no, well, maybe if a player averages over 25 points a game and he plays less than 1/5 of the season and they lose in a series, then they get a do-over. They get a chance to re-enter the playoffs through a points metric system. And they have to play an extra 2 games in the series. So even though theoretically maybe Orlando would have won 4 games to 2, since it's the best out of 9, there's one other game played, and then the series gets extended. No. Okay? That's how it always been. I remember at one point in time, there was a time when the Eastern Conference was stronger than the Western Conference. All right? You look at the 97 playoffs, shit, the 8th seed, the Bullets at the time, great turn to the Wizards, they won 44 games. I think the 4th seed, the Hawks won 56 games. So no. That's just how it is. The Western Conference is strong. LeBron James chose to come over there, all right? And shit ain't working out the way that he thought it would. I remember talking to people and they thought the Lakers were going to win 60-some games. It was going to be, no. It's a bunch of young guys playing with a guy that has to be ball dominant to be effective, all right? I always knew Lonzo Ball was a fucking bum. People thought he was an all-star, and it's not quite working out. I didn't think that the injury element would be part of it, but now you have LeBron James injured, and, we're wondering the status of that. Maybe he'll be back next week, or he'll be cleared to play. We got to see. If not, if he's still not cleared to play, then we can kind of really believe it's something more serious than what's been put out there. Okay? But if LeBron James is more injured or more severely injured than we thought, then the Lakers might definitely be in trouble as far as the playoffs. And at this point, even if the Lakers make the playoffs, I can't see them getting past the semifinal round anyway. Okay? No matter how much the officials might help them, you know what I'm saying? I just can't see this team constructed the way they are making it past the semifinals. And I think this also should prove that LeBron James really does not make his teammates better. I've always kind of questioned that. Even when I liked LeBron during his first stint with the Cavaliers, I'm like, I don't know if he really makes his teammates better. He makes his presence alone makes the team better because he's such a talented overall player, but his game doesn't translate to I can make Lonzo Ball better, or I can make Mo Williams better back in the day, or I can make Chris Bosh better. No, Chris Bosh helps to make me better because I don't have a dependable jump shot, and I need stretch fours to, make up for my lack of perimeter, efficacy. But I never saw that with him, man. I don't know, and also, well, I don't want to, get into all that, but this is an interesting read, man. And if the Lakers don't make the playoffs, the world's not going to end. They just have to regroup. Okay, they're gonna have to be ready for next year. Shit happens. Nobody saw Penny Hardaway's injury at the time, but it happened. Nobody saw the Detroit Pistons may not have handled it well, but they didn't foresee that foot injury affecting Grant Hill the way it did back in 2000. But it happened. Kevin McHale didn't know that starting in January '87 of that year, when he started having problems with his foot, that it would affect the rest of his career the way it did. He still played for another 6 years, but he was not the same player after the foot injury. He was not quite the same guy. Shit happens. This is the NBA. This is a high-contact sport, no matter what people say. And injuries happen. And in particular, a guy who has played for 16 years. All right, so this year may not be the perfect year. LeBron James may not be in the finals. And you just have to hope that next year things work out the way that you want to work out. Hopefully they're able to get that big free agent signing, like like a Davis. And hopefully they're able to sign Anthony Davis and maybe tweak some other things with the team. And God, they need to get rid of Luke Walton. Get rid of Luke Walton. Get a guy like you know, get a guy like Mark Jackson, or at the very least, get a guy like Phil Jackson, or at least Mark Jackson, and make some tweaks here or there, and then you'll have a team that can not only play through the LeBron era, but beyond, because Davis is that type of guy that can be a dominant player for a decade. So I wouldn't even be all that concerned about right now. It'll be nice to be good right now, but this isn't the promised land. This is the start of the promised land. The promised land starts next year and beyond. Don't get me wrong. You want to win this year, but I would just have my expectations on make the playoffs. Make the playoffs. That's a good next step. Even if you guys get swept in the first round, playoffs is a good lesson. Give them some experience. All right, some playoff experience, and have a year under your belt with this team, and then go to next year. But anyway, this is a good little read. I'm gonna put it in the description box. Tell me what you guys think.